What's going on, guys? Brian here, and right before I sat down to start work on this commentary, I looked through some of my more recent YouTube video uploads, and I'm like, alright, what have I done and what have I not done recently? And then I realized I haven't given you guys an Afghan gameplay now in almost a month! A month! Can you believe that? Anyhow, so I found one on my hard drive. This one's actually from July, but it's a pretty good game, as I usually have on Afghan to begin with, so this is what you're going to watch today while I talk about a topic that was running through my head recently. Actually, it's been running through my head for quite some time, and that is Hollywood just completely out of ideas? Is their creative think tank running on empty? You look at so many of the TV shows they're coming out with now, and all they are is rehashes of previous shows. I mean, last season it was Hawaii Five-0. This season it's Charlie's Angels. I mean, they have X Factor now in addition to American Idol. I mean, Dancing with the Stars, Ice Skating with the Stars, and how many dance and sing-off shows. I mean, is that why reality TV is as big as it is now? I mean, are they just out of ideas? I mean, how many CSIs do they have now? They got LA, Miami, Las Vegas, and who knows how many other episodes. I don't even know. But I mean, they're just rehashing the same old things over and over again. And so many of the new shows that they come out with nowadays just suck. I mean, several of them have already been canceled, and we're only like 2 or 3 weeks into the new fall season. I mean, one of them I was actually looking forward to and kind of liking it was the Playboy Club. I mean, come on now, guys. Who wouldn't like that? A bunch of hot-ass Playboy bunnies all episode? But that's already been canceled, too. I mean, come on. Give us guys something. But, I mean, TV is just so bad now. It almost makes me want to go back to the older cable days when we had a push-button cable box and there were only like 50 channels or something to choose from. I mean, it seems like there's just too many stations to try and fill with crap TV. I mean, and you look at the movies they're coming out with now, more rehashes. I mean, they're redoing Footloose. I mean, they got the pseudo, whatever they're calling, a prequel to The Thing coming out now, which is supposedly, what, the Norway expedition. But I mean, come on, after the first 10 minutes of that movie, it's pretty much the same thing as the epic Kurt Russell incarnation was. I mean, come on, man. I mean, they redid and rebooted Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th. I mean, why would you ever think to redo the almost word for word and line for line? You know, Nightmare on Elm Street, I mean, Robert Englund got it right the first time. I mean, granted, Rob Zombie tried to do something a little bit different with Halloween, try to give the kid more of a backstory, which was, I don't know, kind of interesting, but still wasn't that good. And then, you know, they redid Friday the 13th as well. I mean, they kind of merged the first and second movies into one, and they showed Jason running and made him more agile, and also showed, you know, his tunnel system, how he always pops up in front of his victims. I mean, come on now, the victim characters, I mean, they're just terrible. I mean, I kind of like any pretty much slasher flick, but I mean, come up with something new. I mean, and they're already refilming Total Recall, and I've heard they're working on a new Blade Runner as well. I mean, you're redoing Blade Runner? I mean, come on, that's a classic. Don't touch it. I mean, what's next? I mean, how many more movies are they just going to keep rebooting? I mean, they're redoing Superman again, because, I mean, let's be honest, Superman Returns absolutely sucked. I think Superman as a superhero in general is a difficult movie to make and as an interesting character, because he's such a goody two-shoes and a Boy Scout. Doesn't make for an overly interesting superhero movie. I mean, thankfully, one of the remakes of superhero movie they finally got right was Batman this time around. I mean, you know, Christian Bale, and I think it's Christopher Nolan is the director, you know, finally made him the darker character that he was always meant to be and was in all the comic books, rather than the, I don't know, cartoonish neon incarnations of, you know, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, and Val Kilmer. Ugh. I mean, God, it almost gives me nightmares even thinking about how bad some of those movies were. So, I mean, I pose this question to you guys. What TV shows and movies do you think should be absolutely off limits, that they should never ever think about remaking because they were just such epic classics the first time around? I mean, some of the ones that pop into my head that, you know, I'll watch pretty much every single time they come on, you know, first and foremost being Jaws. I mean, don't ever redo, you know, the Roy Scheider Jaws. Don't do it. I mean, Jaws, I mean, I don't care if you can make the shark even more realistic with CGI and everything else, and you can do all that fancy, you know, graphic stuff now, but don't touch it. Another movie that pops into my head that I'll pretty much watch every single time it comes on And mainly I thought of it because I just saw it in my on-screen guide that it's on right now. And that's A Few Good Men. I mean, granted, it's a Tom Cruise movie, but I mean, even with that, I think he played his character really well. I mean, come on, those courtroom scenes with him and Jack Nicholson, they would just fall in the epic category. I said the movie as a whole maybe isn't epic. I don't know. I mean, you guys can tell me your thoughts on that. But I hope they don't consider remaking something like that. I mean, don't even think about touching movies like Scarface, Goodfellas, you know, any Clint Eastwood movie like Dirty Harry. I mean, come on, don't even think about getting something like, I don't know, Matt Damon or somebody to play Harry Callahan. Don't even think about touching it. I mean, but I guess, is Hollywood just out of ideas? I mean, how many more zombie movies can we see? How many more alien invasion movies can they make? How many more buddy cop movies? You know, in the lines of the best ever, I think Lethal Weapon. And there were so many other bad ones after that, but let me know your thoughts on this topic, guys, and what other movies and shows you think should be off limits. Look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. And as always, I hope you really enjoyed the video. I will talk to all you soon, and I hope you have a good one.